Welcome, dear listeners. Today I will tell you a true story. It is the story of a boy who thought he still had plenty of time. He was not poor. He had a home. He had enough to eat. He had chances. And still he lost everything. He did not lose his life because of bad luck or an accident. He lost it because he wasted his time every day. This is a story from real life, a story about loss, regret, and years that passed unused. It is the reality of millions of people who live today without seeing what they lose. He did not lose his life at once. He lost it in small moments, in lazy hours, in days with no goal. While others worked, he waited. While others studied, he doubted. While others changed, he only thought about change. And when he finally woke up, something important inside him was already gone. This story will change your view of time. It is emotional, it is honest, and it is also very good for learning English. So listen well. Are you ready? My name is Alex. I did not lose my life through one big mistake. I lost it because I did not value time. When I was 20, I had no big problems. I was not poor, had a roof, and enough food. My parents were not rich, but they backed me. Life was not bad, but it felt empty. Something was missing. I had no inner fire, no goal. I had a phone, used the internet, and had dreams, but I lacked direction. I remember those days very well. Every morning I woke up at 10, grabbed my phone and scrolled for an hour. Then I got up, ate slowly, and spent the whole day in the same room. I told myself, today I will do something productive. But then YouTube came, and I opened Instagram. I got lost in a world that pumped me for 5 minutes, then left me empty and exhausted. In the evening I said, it's okay. Tomorrow I will really start. But the next day I did the exact same thing. No one asked what I was doing, because I did nothing wrong. I had no trouble, failed no exams, and was not sick or depressed. I simply drifted, but this easy life slowly broke me. People thought I was fine, but inside a voice screamed for more, meaning movement, real life. But I did not listen to it. It was easier to distract myself than to question myself. I did not even know I was wasting time. My life looked normal. Get up, scroll, eat, chill, talk, sleep. Everyone else did that too, but they planned their future while I lived only in the now. At 21, one school friend got a job in the city, another joined a startup, and a third posted fitness videos and gained many followers. I thought, good for them. I will start something soon too. But now I just wanted to relax and enjoy my life. This phase of rest became 6 months, then a year, and finally 3 years. Each time I tried to start photography, freelancing, or applying, I felt motivated 10 minutes, then quit again. I kept saying the right moment was later. I needed strength and a perfect plan. So I waited and waited and waited. But time did not wait for me. I was not lazy. My mind was always busy. All day I thought, set big goals, and dreamed of success. I pictured what I would say in job interviews and saw myself as rich and respected. I wanted to help my parents, but none of it was real. It existed only in my head. I did not act, did not move, and finished nothing. I was addicted to planning, addicted to thinking, addicted to a better tomorrow. But life rewards action, not dreams, and I was only a dreamer in a small room. At 24, my cousin was promoted, a childhood friend bought a car, and another friend moved abroad. Even the people I thought were wasting time now earned money and moved ahead. And me? I still woke up at 10, scrolled, and stayed stuck. I still told myself, it is not too late. But I was not just late. I became unimportant. People no longer asked me what I did. They knew the answer. Nothing. Each time I looked in the mirror, I began to hate myself. Not because of my face, but because I knew the truth. I wasted everything I had. Yet the deepest pain was still coming. I had not failed yet because I had not even tried. What I did not know was this. Failure arrives quietly. It comes when you do not respect time. It comes when you do not show up. It comes when you live like the clock does not matter. And my failure came fast. I was 28 years old and still lived in the same room. I still used the same excuses and told myself it was not too late. But deep inside, I felt something. I felt pressure, the weight of time. It was not loud or sudden, but quiet and steady. Each time I opened social media, this feeling grew. I saw people younger than I was. They did more, were further, and lived fuller. I had no job, no money, and no clear role in life. Only an old dream of becoming a photographer. I owned a phone full of apps that stole my attention. I did not want to admit this, because that meant I had wasted 8 years. So I kept lying to myself. I told myself, I just need more motivation. I will start next Monday. I am different. My time will come. Then came a day that changed everything. It was a normal evening. I lay on my bed and scrolled through short videos. I laughed at things without meaning and wasted another hour. An hour that never returns. Suddenly my phone rang. It was an old friend, Daniel. We had not talked in a long time, and I had talked to no one. When your life stands still, you avoid people whose lives move. I answered and tried to sound normal, but his voice was different. He was excited. He said, I'm getting married soon, and I want you to shoot the wedding photos. You loved photography back then, right? I saw your old pictures. You were good. For a short moment, I smiled. At last, someone remembered my dream. At last, someone believed in me. But then I froze inside. I had not used my camera for 2 years. I had not practiced and learned nothing new. My dream lived only in my head. My hands were empty, and I had nothing to offer. So I lied again. I said, I don't do photography anymore. I quit. I do something else now. He answered, Okay, no problem. I will ask someone else. See you at the wedding. The call ended, and I sat there, stared at the wall, and stopped laughing. The screen went dark, and the silence in my room was hard to bear. That was the moment I knew. Time had moved, but I had not. I slid to the floor, my back to the wall, and cried. Not because of the call, but because the truth hit me. For the first time, I saw my whole life clearly. All the empty days without aim came rushing back and hurt. Every excuse. Every morning I said, 5 more minutes. Every week I promised a new start. All the hours lost to YouTube, Netflix, silly videos, chats, and talk. I was 28. I had no money, no job, no skills, and no self-belief. Only dust. Dust from broken dreams and stolen time. That night I went to the bathroom and faced the mirror. I truly did not know the face. Dark rings, tired eyes, weak shoulders, an empty stare. That was not the boy who once said, I want to see the world and tell stories with my camera. That was a boy who had betrayed himself. Do you know what hurts more than failure? Knowing you never even tried. realizing you are the reason life is stuck. This pain is quiet, yet it eats you from inside. That night I could not sleep, not from fear, but from deep regret. It felt like 8 years lay on my chest. The next morning I pulled out my old camera. It was dusty, the battery dead, and the card held old photos from my last real effort. I looked at the pictures and broke down again. They were good, not perfect, but good. I could have built something from them. I could have learned and practiced, failed and grown. Yet I kept telling myself, later. And later never came. My parents still supported me, but I saw sadness in their eyes. They said nothing, but I felt it. They had hoped I would become someone, and I let them down. And I let myself down. That was the moment I collapsed inside. Not in body, not in money, but in emotion. In that moment I knew the damage was there, and I had caused it. That night I stood before the mirror. I could no longer lie, hide, or blame anyone. Not my parents, not school, not life. It was my fault. I whispered one line. If I do not start now, I will die this way. The next morning I did not touch my phone. I did not scroll, did not play music, spoke with no one. I just sat still. For the first time I listened to myself. I told myself, no more lies, no fake work, no empty promises. I stopped chasing success. I chased discipline. I did small things, boring things, every single day. I wanted to earn back my self-respect. I set one rule. Do something real every day for 7 days. On the first day, I got up at 6:30. It felt awful. My body refused and my mind pushed back. But I sat with a notebook and wrote 3 questions. What do I feel? Where did I waste time yesterday? What small step can I take today? That day I cleaned my room, not for dirt, but for inner chaos. In the evening I was tired, yet I felt in control again. On day 2 I watched 3 simple photography tutorials, no motivation videos, only learning. On day 3 I walked outside with my old camera. It was broken and the battery weak, but I shot 100 photos. People, flowers, houses. It felt awkward, yet seeing the photos made me cry again, because something inside still lived. On day 4, I opened an Instagram page. No profile picture, no info, no followers. I uploaded 1 photo, just 1. Not for likes, but for discipline. On days 5 to 7, I repeated everything. Wake, no phone, write, walk, shoot, learn, upload. No one clapped, no one even saw it. But I did not need noise, I needed quiet. In quiet, discipline is born. I began to love routines. Water in the morning, cold showers, reading, learning, practice. It was not exciting, but it was real. And for the first time in years, I felt proud of myself. That did not mean everything was easy. Guilt stayed, and regret stayed too. But I told myself, yes, you are late. Yes, you lost time. But every second you waste now is a crime against your future self. So I kept going. I learned not only photography, but also how to charge money, talk to clients, work faster, build trust, all for free, with no excuses. At 29, I got my first paid client for a birthday party. I earned little money, but I worked 10 hours on the photos. When I was paid, I did not feel rich. I felt whole again. I bought a new lens with that money. No parties, no luxury, only an investment. This became my rule. Earn, invest, repeat. I was not successful yet, but I had begun. And that was everything. Time had taken much from me, but now I started to take my time back. I was still behind. Behind in age, behind in money, behind in success. Yet for the first time, I was ahead of my old self. I owned a camera, even though the lens was broken. I had a cheap tripod, no car, and no studio. I also had no followers. But I had something I never had before. Momentum. This momentum came from silence. No one clapped, no one shared my photos, no one called me gifted. I was just a man with a camera, fighting the person I used to be. That fight became my drive. I kept posting photos, one picture each day, no matter what. I ignored likes, stayed off viral trends, used no trendy music and no special hashtags. I searched for real connection. With every photo I wrote a short story. Sometimes it was a problem, sometimes a memory, sometimes a small lesson. Slowly, people noticed me. One comment became 10, one follower became 50. Then a stranger wrote, "Your page is different. I come here because I want to feel something real." That one message meant more to me than 1,000 likes. I learned something big. People follow not only talent, they follow truth. And for the first time, I lived honestly. At 30, I applied to a small travel company. They needed photos of trips, backpackers, paths, moments. I sent my pictures, my story, and everything I had. They replied, "Sorry, we want someone younger with more experience." That hurt. Younger? I thought at once. I wasted my 20s, and now the world tells me I am too late. I sat there, the camera on my lap, and thought, you did this to yourself. You waited, and now the world moved on. But I did not give up. I made a new rule. Rejection means you are trying. So I kept going. I gave my page a new name. The Time You Lost. And I shared not only photos, I shared parts of my path. I wrote lines like, "Do not wait until you are ready. I wasted 10 years. Start badly. Start scared. But start." I am not yet where I want to be, but I am far from the person I was. This photo is not perfect. I am not either. And that is okay. Then something strange happened. People wrote me in private. One said, "I am 26 and feel lost too. I thought I was the only one." Here is a longer version with 200 extra words. Thanks for reminding me it's not too late. Slowly, my page became a small community. Many people felt low. They wanted to rise and rebuild their lives. I was not famous, I was not rich, but I was useful. For the first time, that felt enough. One day, a small mental health group wrote to me. They said, "We like your photos. You show feelings. Can you photograph our next campaign?" I did not ask for money because positive impact mattered more to me. I did not try to sound very professional. I simply said, "Yes, it is an honor." This project changed everything for me. It was not only the possible pay, it was the meaning I found. I photographed people who had survived hard times, depression, fear, and addiction. They had known pain, yet they were still here and showed great strength. I saw myself in their eyes, and they saw themselves in mine. The campaign went online, and the response was huge. People cried, shared the pictures, and wrote long posts. Suddenly, the boy who wasted 10 years was helping others. They felt seen and understood. I learned something big. If I want to grow, I must guard my time like water, like treasure. So I built a new system for myself. I got up at 5:45, took a cold shower, and read 20 minutes. Books, not screens. Then I worked long hours without a phone. I shot photos, edited them, and studied until noon. In the afternoon, I planned and wrote messages to clients. In the evening, I sat for 30 minutes and wrote in a notebook. I went to bed at 10. I became boring. No parties, no scrolling, no trends, no distractions. Only work, health, and growth. Every day, again and again. People asked me, "How are you so focused now?" I smiled and answered, "Because I know how it feels to live without meaning. And I never want to go back there." Thank you for taking the time to hear my story. It was a joy to share my experience with you. I hope my words helped you and maybe pushed you to take charge of your own life. Time is precious, and every moment matters. I invite you to think about your own dreams and what steps can bring you closer. Have you ever felt you were wasting your time? What actions could you take to reach your goals? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you liked this story, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your feedback is important and helps us tell more inspiring stories. Let us grow and learn together. I look forward to hearing from you and reading your ideas. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.